Welcome to Crafty Little Beach. This is Julie. Today I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you. This is a really easy DIY. I picked up an 8x10 frame from the Dollar Tree. It has a little bit of a wicker texture on it. I thought that would be fun for a bee theme. I don't really like the fact that it's all one color though, so I'm going to paint it a little bit to update it. And I'm just going to take the glass and everything out of the back. I'm going to show you how to do a really fun, bright spring canvas of a little honey truck. So the first thing I do is I'm just taking some ivory paint and a little sponge dauber, and I'm going to go all over, giving me kind of a base coat on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to be using Antique Wax by Waverly to restain this. This is going to give me lots of different colors, like a faux wood grain, and I really want you to be able to see the great texture that is on this frame. I want it to almost look like the same color as the rope that I use for crafting with bee DIYs. So once it's dry, I take some Antique Wax by Waverly, and for the first coat, I go over it like this, and then use a baby wipe to wipe off the excess. It's going to give me a little bit of a base coat. It's a little bit lighter. I do go back in with more Antique Wax by Waverly to make it a little bit darker, but this is my first coat of this. The baby wipe takes off a lot of it, as you can see, and then I use that to distress the sides of it as well on the edges. And then I go over it with a little bit more there on one side to make sure they're all even. Now, once I get that dry, I'm going to go in for my second coat. This one I want to do a lot darker. I want to make sure I get in all those grooves. And so instead of using a baby wipe, I use a paper towel to wipe off the excess. That leaves some of the darker color down in those grooves. As you can see, it's really bringing out that great pattern on this frame and making it look more high end. And I really love this. I designed a printable for the 8x10, and I will include a link to the freebie printable down in the description of today's video so you can make your own. And it is sized 8x10, so if you print it out at 100%, it should be the perfect size for this one. Now that the frame is all stained, I want to make sure I don't touch it right away. The Antique Wax by Waverly does take a few minutes to dry on that for sure. Now, to make my canvas, I'm actually using the glass on the frame to make it. This is the design I made. It's a little honey farm truck full of honey in the back and bees everywhere. I think it's so cute and bright for spring. Just making sure I sized it perfectly and it looks good. So I printed mine out on cardstock. It just makes it so much easier to work with when you're making a little faux canvas like this. I just cut off the white edges of my cardstock and we can go ahead and start putting this together. I like using the glass as a background because I already have it, right? It's perfectly flat and I can just use Mod Podge to attach it. So I want the cardstock to go on top of the glass because I want that canvas feel of it. I don't want it to be behind glass, but if you like yours like that, you could totally just put it in the frame itself. I just put Mod Podge all over, laying it on top, using a dry paper towel to smooth it out to make sure I don't have any bubbling or air in there. And the great thing about cardstocks is you don't really have to wait for it to dry before you start Mod Podging on top. You're not going to get wrinkling. So I go over it with a coat, just using a foam brush. I do want a little bit of a brush stroke on there to give you that canvas feel. And I go all over the front of it and give it a quick dry. I do want that great texture and I want it to be sealed really well. So I do go in with a second coat of Mod Podge doing the same thing. I've done this on many projects and I really love how this turns out. And it's so easy because you're only using one item from the Dollar Tree, just the frame. Now that I have that on there and dry, I want to see how the frame looks. It looks really good. So let's just go ahead and pop this back in the frame. These Dollar Tree frames have hangers on the back, also stands. So I'm going to use a stand to actually display this on a cabinet for spring. I think that looks pretty good. Just making sure everything's perfect before I put everything together. I'm just going to pop the back on, making sure I have it going the right way, and close all the staples there on the back. And this is how it turned out. I think it's so cute. I love the fact that it's an 8x10 size. I have some little shelves near my front door that I put this on. It like fills up like an entire one of my like little cubes there. And I think it's really cute. I love the idea of a little honey farm truck. and super easy just using your printer and my free printable, which I will again include and link in the description of today's video.